Welcome to Fly on the Wall. We are your hosts. I am Jonathan Matthias Lassiter.
And I am Marquita Moten.
So, who the hell are we?
Well, I am a master's level therapist. I'm a light worker and tarot reader. And I have a penchant for herbalism and natural medicine.
She does it all. Get your life right on together.
Get you right on together.
Right on together. And I am a licensed clinical psychologist, professor, and author, award-winning author. And I'm currently working on my second book that hopefully will be a New York Times bestseller. We naming it and claiming it out here.
Absolutely.
Okay. But my focus is on working with people of African descent, African Americans in particular, looking at African-centered work and bringing culture to the forefront of mental health. And so, what we talk about today, Keita?
So I thought about when I visited you and we had our self-imposed hot ones challenge.
Yes.
And I thought maybe we could kind of expand that into therapy, spirituality, Blackness,
Okay.
and what fuels us. So I think it will be cool for us to ask each other some questions.
Okay.
That may give our viewers more insight into who we are, what we do, how we think, and why.
All right. So we're both from the South. So ladies first.
Okay. I'll take it. And thank you for holding the door for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So question number one, what has been the most impactful therapeutic experience that you've had, whether as a clinician or as a client?
Ooh, that's hard.
Or one of the most impactful, I should say.
Yeah, one of the most. I guess I will share the story. So one of the most impactful experiences when I was therapist was when it was like my 5th year of graduate school, getting my PhD, and I was working at Harlem Hospital. I was living in Harlem, working at Harlem, and I would go in about twice a week. But anyway, so it was in a partial day treatment program for people with schizophrenia. And so I would do the partial day treatment, but there were also an inpatient portion. So that's basically people that's, admitted to the hospital overnight or for longer periods of time due to psychosis, schizophrenia. And so my supervisor was like, I want you to go and I want you to do this mental health assessment with this inpatient schizophrenic person. And I don't really like serious mental illness, what they call serious, like the schizophrenia spectrum. That's not my zhush, in the realm of mental health. But I was like, okay, I'm here to learn, and so let me go and do it, because even if I don't do this long term in my career, at least this will be a skill I have under my belt, and this is what I'm here for. So I go, and it's one of the reasons why I don't like inpatient is because it's so many different layers and walls. It's almost kind of like a prison, because
I worked at that hospital that shall not be named.
Yes, so you are very familiar.
Yes, there was an outer gate that you had to unlock, turn around, relock. Then each unit had 2 exterior doors that you had to go into. You had to go into the group room, individual rooms, the therapy room. Everything was locked, and you do feel imprisoned. Yeah,
definitely. So I hate that.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons. So they're like, go in there, assess this patient on the inpatient unit. And so I go in, and it's this fishbowl sort of thing where there's glass, but there are doors that lock. And so there's this African American man, looks like he may be like his late 40s, early 50s. and he's in all white, the uniform they have them in on the units. And previously, I had been briefed on him, that he's reticent, he doesn't want to talk and things like that. It's hard to get information from him. So I'm thinking, oh, great, and you're giving me, the intern, this delightful case,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because they always do that. Because my
That's what they
supervisors
do.
will always be like, "This is a good learning experience for you."
Right.
And it's just
Right.
like, "You just
Yeah.
help me do this." Uh,
Exactly.
and so anyway, so I go in and I'm just like, so I'm here to do a mental assessment. I introduce myself. I'm here to do a mental assessment. So tell me, how things have been going with you. I figure I would do a softball versus. So he's like, I'm all right, very, terse. And so all of a sudden I just say, I'm really here to, get an understanding of how things are going with you. And it was like something just shifted in the room. And he looked at me and he was like, you know what? I wasn't going to talk to you, but I could see the spirit in you.
Hmm.
And he just opened up. So,
Uh,
I mean, I don't know the veracity of what he told me. Like, I don't know how true he told me because this is a person in a compromised mental health state. But it was open and it was flowing, which was different from the account of the other providers. And so in that moment, I chose to believe that what he was telling me had um, some truth to it. And I was thankful that if for nothing else, this man was able to have a different experience
mm-hmm.
in that moment due to his perceived, um, due to his perception of spirit on me, around me, in the room. And I was just so grateful because in that moment, I felt like I was a tool and a vessel. And for me, that's always the most important because I believe that no matter how much schooling, training I have, it's about spirit flowing through me that does the healing. So,
Yeah, I completely agree.
mm,
And this story is making me think of just some of the nuances of mental health as we've been taught mental health, right? So
mhm,
that Eurocentric perspective, because there is a cultural perspective where schizophrenia is not schizophrenia.
mm,
Schizophrenia is a person or someone with schizophrenia is perceived culturally by some cultures as a person who is able to travel beyond the veil.
mm,
And by that, I mean who is able to communicate with those who have passed on or beings of an ethereal nature to begin with. So it's very interesting that, of course, by Western American standards and the Eurocentric psychology that we've been taught to gift to the world, he is considered someone who is schizophrenic. But maybe he really was able to see the essence of the divine on you and in you.
mm,
Um, but like you said, either way, it prompted him to share his story and you were able to get the information you needed.
mm.
And that's powerful, regardless of his reason or his motivation for doing so.
Yeah, I like to believe that if nothing else, there was a genuine connection in that moment. And
Yeah,
to me, that's healing. That's where the work of healing takes place. So nothing else, it was a genuine connection, and hopefully that was the seed towards that growth.
yeah. And
So,
I like the question you asked him. That probably helped him open up too. Because with a lot of clients, especially ones who have been diagnosed for a long time and who have been treated like patient forever, and some clinicians just go in automatically like, okay, what meds are you taking, blah 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 blah. They forget that this is a human being with life experiences and with feelings. So for you to go in and say, I'm just trying to understand how everything is going for you.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows when the last time he had heard that
Yeah,
was.
that's true.
Just having someone checking on him.
But really, that's the only way I know how to do it. Anything else feels fake and stuffy to me.
I agree.
Because, like I said, I've been in school forever, but I'm just a human being, like trying to figure this thing out. I do not have no answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that brings me to a point that I want everybody to be aware of. Counseling is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something that you learn in school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are people who go to school and learn the techniques and they regurgitate those techniques to the best of their ability. But counseling, therapy, healing on the level that we do it, that is a gift from the divine.
Yep.
And these degrees allow us to charge people for what we already
That
have.
part. It's about I could charge your insurance, right?
Exactly. I just wanted to make that clear. One thing that has really irritated me, especially since I finished grad school, is for anyone to accuse me of saying something in a certain way because I learned that in school.
Right.
No, baby, that's not what school taught me.
Right. School
So
be charged.
that's
for
another day, but I just wanted to make that clear. So what you're talking about is what you've been gifted to do by the divine.
Right. That's it. Now let's get to your question. I have a question for you. So, what is the most important tool? I know this is hard, but what is let's say, what is one of the most important tools someone can have on their journey to holistic health?
I think the most important, well, I don't know if it's the most, definitely one of the most important tools, I think, is self-awareness. I feel like once you have self-awareness, then that pretty much forms the foundation for whatever healing you're seeking. But if you're in a state of pre-contemplation, where you're not even thinking about what might be going on with you, or if you are just not an intrinsic person, that's something that I notice a lot on reality TV. Not that I engage in it very often, but there are just a lot of people out here who do not take the time to know who they are. They spend so much time distracting themselves with external things, but the outside is never going to heal you.
No.
So
another
I think that, okay. Yeah, so I think that one of the most important tools to perpetuate holistic healing, which is mind, body, spirit, is self-awareness. Yeah. You have to know where you are. And then
how do we help people get there? Because like you said, and I just want to repeat what you just said. The outside will never heal you. Right. So if that is true, and we know that most people do not have self-awareness for several reasons. Some could be socialization, that's just wasn't the way they was raised. Some people are actively avoiding because it's painful. There's a lot of different reasons. How do we cultivate that? What tools, what experience can we give not only our patients, but can people give to each other in their close relationships to cultivate that?
I think not letting anyone get away with the easy answer. Like anytime I have
good for that. You good for that. I know from personal experience.
But and my reason for that is one, it's what I've been gifted from the divine. Okay. But also it's because people use a lot of words and they have their own meaning for those words. And we don't necessarily know what that is. I can come to you and say, you know what, I had a hard day. But a hard day to me is not going to be the same as it is for you. So when people express themselves or whatever, I always like to get them to go a little bit further. And then each time go a little bit further and a little bit further until it becomes part of their way of being. And I do this with myself all the time. If I feel something about something, then there always comes a point where I ask myself, well, what is it about that situation that has me feeling such and such?
What I'm hearing you talk about is developing a disposition of curiosity. Because,
Yeah. Yeah,
because
but curiosity with purpose.
right.
Not curiosity just for
Not
the sake
random.
of knowing. Like if somebody's talking about, oh, well, I'm cheating on my husband or whatever. Like, okay, you cheat on your husband. And there's curiosity where you just want to know, well, girl, why you cheating on your husband? What do you do?
Right.
What do you do? But
Yeah.
then
Right.
but curiosity with purpose is okay. So what led you to cheat on your husband? And not what about him led you to cheat on him?
You.
What within you
Right.
led you to cheat on your husband? And that may take some time to process because people like to blame others a lot of times. But every situation in which we're engaged requires a degree of volunteerism.
Yes. Yes.
And so I like to get to that voluntary component within my clients by asking those questions that prompt them to go a little deeper. Okay, well, what does it look like to have a hard day?
Mm-hmm. Right.
How did you contribute?
So curiosity with purpose to me sounds like curiosity not necessarily about the event, but the choice behind the event.
Exactly. Yeah. That internal motivation. Because, like you said before, it's all about that intrinsic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So then a lot of people don't have an intrinsic lens. So we have to put them in the position to have an intrinsic lens by asking them those intrinsic questions.
Yeah. I love it. Y'all getting that out there? That's for free. You just got a whole lot for free.
Hello.
Listen.
We need to start invoicing somebody.
We do. Okay. So I think, we should continue this Q&A, but at another time, because I think we have reached a good stopping point, give small doses. So this has been Fly on the Wall. And so thank you all for tuning in for another episode.
Yay.
Me and my homegirl from way back in the way back.
That's me. I know him, y'all.
I know her. So as always, please like, subscribe, give us the thumbs up, and send your questions or topics that you want us to discuss to our email address, flyonthewallMH, MH stands for mental health, mh@gmail.com. So again, flyonthewallMH@gmail.com. It is below this video, as well as the description, all this stuff. So like, subscribe, and come back next time. Share this with the people in your life that may need it. Watch it more than once, because oftentimes, as we know as therapists, is that hearing it once is usually not enough. Yeah. We could be in sessions with folks going over similar stuff for years before it sinks in. So watch multiple times, share it with folks. And we'll see you back here next time. Bye, Keita.
Bye-bye.